Well, good morning, everyone. Hi again for those who have attended my first talk. So today I'm going to present our work, me and Kevin, on the trends and insights of the use of model-driven engineering by conducting a survey. So for those who are not familiar with model-driven engineering, what does MDE mean? So model-driven engineering is a software development approach that utilizes the models or focus on the models and try to generate the code automatically or semi-automatically through model transformations. So it's, as I said, it's focused on automatic code generation and simplification of design, hopefully. Why MDE? It has been proved to be efficient, they automate various software development tasks, try to reduce the manual effort in the development. For the quality, it helps. It has, there's some evidence that it has improved the quality of the generated code and trying to be error-free software, and also for collaboration. So models have been a good example or a good communication medium to communicate ideas and discuss it either with customers or stakeholders or between the development team themselves. So the current scenario, despite its benefits, still MDE adoption is not widespread, especially in industry. It remains limited. The challenges, concerns with the tools, notations, and also methods have hindered its widespread implementation. Why? That's why we have conducted our survey. So there is a need to understand the current usage of MDE and challenge is more crucial than to facilitate the effective adoption of MDE in practice and try to actually take actions to mitigate these risks. So we have in our paper 5 main research questions, starting with what is the current usage of MDE, and do the difficulties with using MDE concern mainly tools, notations, or methods, and also are the problems with adoption, MDE concerned with incompatibility with existing practices, lack of skills, or other factors. And the 4th research question is, do participants see positive role for MDE in software development practice? And finally, is the use of MDE increasing or decreasing or stable? So as I've said, it's an online survey, okay, that to gather, the responses about the current stats and challenges of MDE adoption. The participants, we have invited actually more than 610 individuals from various roles and countries and domains all over the world. 177 luckily started the survey, but only 119 participants, they have completed the survey. And we discard, those who haven't completed the survey. So only 119, they have completed actually the survey, and it has been included as a sample for our survey. So luckily the completion rate was 67. We try to focus on the extent of MDE usage, the barriers to adoptions in terms of tools, notations, and methods, and also specific issues with them in more specific. So we have here some research questions that we have asked. For example, we go through demographic information as usual, also, we have focused on the MDE adoptions in companies, the approach definitions, if they have followed a well-defined approach or they have ad hoc approaches. Also, we have asked about the uses of different MDE practices and just like scale, rate to rate their frequency of using, and also the use of which modeling or design notations. Also, any software development process they have been used in along with the MDE. Also, we have asked about their opinion about statements about MDE tools, support of development steps by MDE tools, and also observed benefits, challenges, barriers, obstacles. We have actually focused more on the obstacles for modernization tools and model transformation in general. Also, we have asked their opinion about important aspects of tools and notations, hopefully, you know, to set direction for future work. And also we have like ended up with free text for any other, of course, any other aspect that we haven't covered in our survey, just to comment out. So for demographics, here we start with industrial academic. So most of our participants, they are from the academia, okay, with 70%, nearly 71%, while industry only 8.6% from industry, while those who are working on industry and academia, they were about 21%. So unsurprisingly, you know, because most the individuals that we can reach, they are from academic, because, you know, we have actually compiled a list of potential participants from published paper. And, you know, in academia, people, they are more likely to publish the work than, you know, people who are working in industry. Also, we have targeted them in other like forum and MDE forum and mailing list, you know, but most of the people, they have participated from academia. Here, for example, they have how long they have been working in MDE. Most of the participants, they have more than 10 years experience and 6 to 10 years experience, while when they ask them about to show how they think, how strong their expertise in MDE, most of our participants, they have high or very high expertise in MDE. For organizations and teams, okay, most of the organizations, they have more than 1,000 employees, maybe just because some of them from academic institutions, so they have large number of employees. And for development teams that they are they have worked in using MDE, the majority of participants, they work in very small teams from 1 to 4, while more than 50 members are very few. Asking about the usage of MDE, for example, we have asked about the practical aspects of MDE, by how frequent they are using this MDE, by writing that never, rarely, sometimes, often, and always. You can see that requirement modeling and specification modeling, they have the majority, they are always or very often, they are using that, while model-based and reverse engineering practices, they are less likely to be used in among participants. Code generation, most of them also, they have used that. And also, of course, model transformations, even if they are not generating the code automatically, still most of the participants, they are using model-to-model transformation. For the modeling notations and languages, okay, still UML, it's quite popular, you know, among participants, but we can see an increased trend towards using domain-specific languages among participants, either customized or standard. Okay, majority, they have customized their own domain-specific languages, while some of them, they have SysML and MATLAB and Simulink, quite, you know, few. Maybe they are targeting, maybe most of them, they are from industry. That's why, you know, it's not reflected, you know, very high. Also, we have asked them, okay, there is, but just not to make it very long, there is also motivations for using the MDE in the paper, but we try to focus on the benefits. For example, for the benefits here, most of the benefits that have been observed by the participants are better software quality for automating, you know, the development process, and also they have noticed better communication using models and specifications between developers and customers, while still they have they notice an improvement in the reusability of using the code, for the models, and the maintainability also has been improved according to our participant, and also the documentation as well. While I think that shorter time to market hasn't been noticed largely among our participants. For the challenges, for example, the lack of expertise always is an issue with MDE, and also the reduced set of the availability of MDE tools, remains problematic. And also steep learning curve, as usually know, there's a lack of training, lack of resources to learn about, especially for naive users, and poor usability for notations and tools. Also, there is a high startup cost. They have seen a high startup cost of using MDE, cost, for example, of training tools and etc. Challenges of MDE tools. We have asked actually specifically about the challenge of MDE tools. For example, they have noticed a poor level of assistance. There is no assistance, in the MDE tools, no help, no hints, and etc. Also, user interface complexity, it has been observed among participants. Also, the lack of trustability between models and code as well, among with other challenges in MDE tools. About challenges in model transformations, in specific, poor debugging support. They have noticed with 72% of participants noticed that. Also, difficulties to compile or adapt the process of using the language, and unfamiliar programming paradigms as well has been an issue with transformation notations. Also, in the last section of our survey, we asked them to rate how important do they think these MDE tools aspects and MDE notations aspect. For example, asking them about that tool should be lightweight and easily customized. Okay, most of them, they said this is very high and high aspect. They think also tools should have long-term vendor support as well. They think this might improve its usability and adoption in among practitioners as well. Also, platform shouldn't depend on particular platform, for example, such as Eclipse. It should be web-based or cloud-based approach as well. It might increase its or improve its usability. Among notations, they think that domain-specific notation is very important compared to general-purpose notations. Also, understandable by non-experts. Also, they have ranked that as very high, and to be concise and easy to focus on also was an important aspect among practitioners. Also, about the MDE process itself, they think that it's important to facilitate the combination of, for example, agile practices and MDE. When we ask them about that in general, because adoption of agile was trendy and it has wide adoption. Also, user input should be considered for adjustment and feedback. They think that in the tools or the process, they should have like some user inputs, and also MDE process should be integratable with non-MDE process as well. They have highly agreed with this actually sentence, for example, like DevOps and other processes. So as we have seen, our 5 research question here, just to summarize the how did this survey answer actually this research question. For example, what is the current usage of MDE? We found there is a high level of experience in MDE, according to the experience that they have. Also, wide use of MDE across different application domains, among critical systems, banking systems, also for some desktop applications as well. However, MDE use within organization was restricted. And also there was typically not a comprehensive defined MDE. Most participants, they have mentioned that there is no well-defined MDE process or phases that they have to follow. Instead, MDE practices were combined with manual development stages. For our second research questions, do the difficulties with using MDE concern mainly notations, tools, or methods? Tool proposal limitations were the most emphasized issues by participants, followed that by notation problem as well. And then the methods or the process itself was less problematic in our survey. For the third questions, are the problems with adoption MDE concerned with incompatibility with existing practices, lack of skills, or there are other factors that we can draw from our survey? So there are technical and non-technical actually issues. The technical problems with MDE, such as the lack of capabilities on the tools notations, were the most strongly emphasized. Also some cultural aspects, also obstacles, including lack of skills and lack of integrations of MDE with other techniques was a problematic. For research question number 4, do participants see positive role for MDE in software development practice? Actually, there was an agreement. There are clear benefits from MDE, okay, but especially with software improvement and communication among development teams. But there are negative and sentiment and limitations of MDE are also widely recognized due to complexity of MDE standards and tools, and lack of integration with other software development tools and techniques. For our fifth research question, on the final one in the survey, is the use of MDE has been increasing, decreasing, or stable? There are some evidence that show there is an increase of the usage, with 30% of participants joined the MDU community in the last 5 years. Also, the MDE usage has shifted since the Hutchinson survey at 2014, with higher use of domain-specific language and agile methods as well. Okay, as you can see, we have compared our work with the most recent or famous survey. For example, Hitchin paper here, they have 449 MDE practitioners. The main findings that MDE benefits recognized, but some negative MDE impact issues around tool use have considered. For actors that in 2018, they have targeted 627 embedded software developers. The main finding was the wide use of code generation, problem with tool support and availability of MDE expertise. While in our survey, we have 119 practitioners. We think, or we found that DSL use has overtaken the UML use in terms of modeling languages. There is widespread use of agile methods and practices along with the MDE. And also MDE benefits recognized, but challenges remain with tools, notations, and processes, as stated in Hutchin's survey. So to conclude this session, we have actually provided up-to-date snapshot of the current state of MDE usage by practitioner. There are trends towards increased use of domain-specific language over UML, and there's increased use of agile and incremental development process. But there is a continuing obstacles to MDE uses, both technical related to tool usability issues and integration with other development process and tools, and also non-technical, such as lack of sufficient trained staff. The state of MDE in practice has not changed fundamentally since survey of Hutchins over 10 years ago, and there is needs for improvement in this aspect to improve its utilization, and we have conclude some of the aspects that the participants actually have rated, according to their experience. Thank you so much, and any questions?